Hey there, CJMS students. Welcome to homework number 12, adding and subtracting rational numbers, or rationals in real life, excuse me. Calculators are okay, but you still got to show your work. And if you were absent or out, you can use this to refresh. So, task cards. Basically, I'm going to give you a problem, and then it's your task to solve. So, card number 1. Submarine is cruising at an elevation of negative 202 meters below sea level, then descends another 105 meters into the sea. What's the new location of the submarine? So what do I notice right off the bat? You'll notice right here I notice that we're working with negatives and that the sub is going deeper. Notice how I didn't number pluck or anything like that. I'm just trying to put down actual things that I noticed in the problem. So in my own words, I'm trying to figure out how deep the sub is, right? I didn't write down what is the new location of the submarine. I try to say what I'm actually trying to do in my own words. All right, so for strategy, I start off by an estimate, so negative 250 and 2/3, that's just negative 250, negative 120 and 5/8, so I'll just call that negative 120. So my estimate is about negative 370. So if I'm getting somewhere around there, I know I'm right. If I'm getting way too big or way too small from there, I know I am completely incorrect. So negative 250 and 2/3 plus negative 150 and 5/8. You'll notice is an SSAK problem. Notice what I do, I use the commutative property and the associative property and kind of rewrite this problem. So put the whole numbers next to each other and then put the fractions next to each other. Make sure that you realize that the fractions are negative because they had a negative whole number. So negative 250 plus negative 120 is negative 370. And then I have to find common denominators between 3 and 8. So notice I multiplied negative 2/3 by 8 and negative 5/8 by 3. And that gave me negative 16 over 24 plus negative 15 over 24. Now that I have common denominators, I can just add them up. I get negative 31 over 24. That's a problem because that's an improper fraction. Change that to negative 1 and 7/24. Why? Because 24 can go into negative 31 one time with 7 left over. 31 minus 24 is 7, right? So then just add these two together. Negative 370 plus negative 1 and 7/24 gives me negative 371 and 7/24 meters. Right? Number 2 is the lowest reliably measured temperature on Earth was negative 128.5 degrees Fahrenheit in 1938. This is why we don't number pluck, because 1983, that's just a number, a year, and it's not even related to the problem in this case. So you wouldn't just pull that out and be like, what do I do with that number? So don't always number pluck. Try and figure out what actually the problem's asking. So subliming dry ice, that's the ice that kind of just smokes, is 19.3 degrees warmer than the lowest temperature recorded. What's the temperature of the subliming dry ice? So notice that dry ice is super cold, but it's getting warmer. And then, in my own words, I'm trying to find the new warmer temperature of the ice. So again, I decided to use a estimate for my strategy. So negative 128.8 is negative 130, call it, and 19.3 is 20. I'm just rounding kind of towards the nearest 10 right there, and I get 110, but remember it's a DSSM problem, so that's why I have negative 110. So my answer should be around there. And you'll notice that I'm lining up my decimals right here and doing my subtraction, and I get 109.5, but remember you have more negatives, so negative 109.5. It's a DSSM problem at a negative number. I was getting warmer, so I was adding a positive. Right? So that's it. Task cards 3 and 4, and the rest are all yours to take care of. Call me if you have questions. Don't skip that strategy part. Do a strategy first, draw a picture, make an estimate, solve a simpler problem, plug and chug, right? Do a simpler strategy first before actually trying to solve the problem. Call me if you have questions.